Fine particulate matter, or PM 2.5, has been linked to adverse health effects. These particles enter our lungs when we inhale, and they tend to remain there when we exhale. There are many components of fine particulate matter, and one called black carbon is linked especially strongly to adverse health effects.
Dean, you're never going to believe this. In my 8th grade science class, we're learning about pollution and its effects on the community too. Did you know 10 billion pounds of unlined coal ash ponds are located right next to the Ohio River at the Beck George Station in New Richmond, Ohio? They contain arsenic, mercury, sulfuric acid, lead, and many other toxins. Many people in the community fear a repeat from the 80s, when their source of drinking water was contaminated from the ash ponds. Students in my class are going to use the engineering design process to design a plan to safely clean up the ash ponds. Prior to completing the challenge, students will graph and analyze PM 2.5 values collected in Claremont County and investigate the characteristics of organisms suitable for bioremediation.
That's great, Marie, but can we get back to our presentation now? Camp Washington is nestled between Interstate 75 and a busy rail yard. There are arteries through Camp Washington where traffic is heavy. There are many small industries and restaurants, and in the midst of all these potential sources of pollution, our homes.
The focus of our summer research was to understand spatial and temporal variation of PM 2.5 and black carbon. We spent 2 weeks walking and driving through Camp Washington, measuring the concentrations of PM 2.5 and black carbon, using a smartphone app called GPS Logger to correlate our data with specific locations in Camp Washington.
That's a great idea. Using a smartphone to take scientific data. We could do that in my physics class at college.
We'll do a unit called Physics is Everywhere, and the students can use their phones to take data for it. And GPS Logger isn't the only app they can use. Lab for Physics is another one. And if they have an iPhone, it's really easy to take slow motion video. They can even analyze video recorded on their phone using a free program called Tracker. The students will choose something they're interested in, maybe energy or cars or boxing, archery, anything really. Then we'll go through the engineering design process to study how that topic relates to physics. And they'll end up with presentations about how physics relates to something that they care about.
Hey Dean, weren't we talking about collecting data in Camp Washington a minute ago? That's something I care about. When we put our data on the map, we noticed some interesting things. For one, there are hot spots of PM 2.5 like this one. That is from a large dirt pile at a construction site. Dust gets on the road there and then cars kick it up every time they drive by. Another interesting thing we saw is the concentration of black carbon is higher in the southern part of Camp Washington than in its northern part. There could be several reasons for that. Maybe it's because the interstate and the rail yard are closer together there. Or maybe the businesses in that area are producing black carbon.
But the time for our summer research is over. Maybe next year another RET team can pick up where we left off.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!